Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Kay Murray, Stevie, Nicol, Aage, Fjortoft and Frank Leboeuf here to answer your questions. Guys, don't know if you saw yesterday's Extra Time, but Stevie was doing the lawnmower. Yep, doing the lawnmower, which was a dance move. And actually, he was out with his lawnmower today.
It must have been karma or something.
Yeah, don't think it was quite as entertaining. Frank saw it. He's still getting over it. All right, Stevie.
I saw it.
Yeah, you saw it. Great. Who's to blame for Leicester's downfall? I suppose we should mention the fact, because we talked about Leicester in the main show, obviously, with the results against Spurs today. At the beginning of the season, the board did give Brendan Rodgers a few things that they had to tell them about, little scope to work with. They cited financial fair play. They cited the fact there needs to be ground improvement. So can you apportion some of the blame to the board there?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, you know, and they also say, oh, by the way, we're going to sell one of your few central defenders. On top of all of that, then I think straight away, if you're Brendan, you're going, well, I can forget battling for top four. Because I am absolutely certain neither the board who gave him the bad news or Brendan himself, when he looked at the squad he had on paper, would have been thinking, oh, we're going to have to try and avoid relegation. They wouldn't have been thinking that way. Brendan would have been thinking middle of the table, maybe see if we can get some in January, you never know, blah, blah, blah. So, yes, a lot of it's down to the board, but Brendan's a coach. And you have to put together what you have and make it work. And right now, Brendan's putting together a team and it's not working. And not only is it not working, it's getting blown away by anybody and everybody. So
yeah,
either Brendan's going to have to jump ship or he's going to have to change the way he plays. And right now, I don't get the impression that he's somebody that'll throw in the old classic, I'm sticking to my principles.
Jan implied during the show that time was running out for Brendan Rodgers.
No, yeah, but what I do as a professor and reading between the lines, I think that Brendan Rodgers talking himself out of the job. I think he's bored of that job. He knows what he got everything out of it. Yes, he wasn't supported the way he should, maybe because of financial fair play or whatever, and they sold a young centre-half to Chelsea for a lot of money. But the board didn't organise the set pieces of Leicester at Tottenham today.
Yeah.
The board didn't organise the naive way of playing out from the back. The board didn't organise the lack of pressing on Tottenham and losing the balls. So this is on Brendan Rodgers. I respect him. He's a great manager, but I think that now is a waiting game at Leicester. Who will he be fired or will he tell him to go? If I was Brendan Rodgers, I would do the same as him. I will just wait till I get fired.
What do you think will happen, Frank? Or what do you think should happen?
Well, I would love to see Brendan Rodgers changing his way of thinking about football. Yes, he wants to play absolutely great football, and he showed it in all the clubs that he was managing for. But there is a time to go to war and to survive the Premier League, and that's the time right now to show his skills. You know, having only one idea of football, of the way to play football, is not enough. Especially in that matter, when you are trying to survive, you have to go back to, as I said during the show, to the basics and the fact that you have to prepare your team to fight until their last breath. And it's not what they're doing right now. They only try to play nice football. Nice football is not enough. Making good passes is not enough. Creating and even scoring 2 goals away from home is not enough if you don't defend.
All right. Next question. Have any of you been inspired back into form by being dropped from the starting 11 like Son Heung-min was today?
Not dropped. The last club I pretty much played for in England was Doncaster Rovers. Donny Rovers, the old non-league. And I got substituted after about 65 minutes. And I wasn't a happy camper. But I was very professional, and I kept my mouth shut, and I sat on the bench and did what we all do. And then I realised, you know what? The only way to show somebody you shouldn't have been taken off is the next time you get a chance, you show them what you're capable of. So that's what I did. So it works.
Nice. What about you, Frank?
No, nothing that I recall. And but I always admitted that if I had a kind of some tensions between the coach and myself, always made me being better. And because I'm somebody with pride and ego, and I wanted to show that the guy was wrong. So if he was trying to catch me in some of my issues, I wanted to react and show him the best. So it would have happened to me. I think I would have reacted the right way.
Jan, I want you to hold that thought if you've got anything, because the next question is a bit more specific and it's for you. And it says for Jan, with Son scoring a hat-trick after having a relatively long scoring drought to start the season, have you had periods in your career where you felt you couldn't score at all? And how did you feel when you finally broke that drought?
Yeah, I had a period. It was terrible. It was the worst 30 minutes of my life. But no, when I stole that quote from Jimmy Greaves. I think that is one of the best. But when I came to England, I played the first game. Didn't score, got a small injury, and I kept on playing. And I went 12 games without scoring goals in England. And it was even worse because I started losing confidence in myself. But I thought, coming from Austrian football and going to the Premiership, I thought I had to change everything with my game. So I went on my confidence. So when you come back, or as a striker, you just want to have that. You just want to have that lucky punch. You just need that goals. And I felt with Son today, although he didn't go for that period that I did at the time, but it's an unbelievable relief when you come back, because it's kind of your confidence always need to be reassured that you have something to do on the level you're on. And to the boys on the last questions, I think for a striker and for a goal getter be measured on goals, there are times where you have 2 or 3 games out and there is always another striker who can get on. But I'm with Stevie that if you're out, that you need to have to transform that into inspiration. You have to train harder, be more concentrated. Because if you're angry, the only thing you let yourself down, nobody else. And especially as a striker, when you get on, you have that someone get a ball in your back of your head and you're a match winner of the game. So that is a very, very important thing that Son did today, but showing that what he did today, that it's world class and great to see.
It's interesting you say that, because Conte had actually said before the game that he likes that Son is a bit angry about this, because that gives you what you need to change it. And then look what we saw today. Next question's for you, Stevie. As you were a fullback in your playing days, how did you manage the balance between attack and defence? Was it something that you were trained for, or was it more to do with self-discipline?
No, a lot of it's got to do with discipline and knowledge. I mean, the game's played a little differently, but when you played full-back, when I played, yes, you were allowed to go forward, but only if the other full-back was staying. So if he had gone, then I couldn't go. So it's kind of discipline as well. Also the way you play, because I knew that I'd Ray Houghton, for example, in front of me. I knew if I went past him, I knew he would sit for me. So again, discipline from me, but it's trust in the other players around you that you can actually take the chance and go on, knowing that somebody's going to cover your backside. So it's a kind of a combination of things.
Jan, should Thomas Tuchel join Bayern Munich?
Wow, that is a big one. Thomas Tuchel has been linked to that club many times, but I think for the time being they will stick with Julian Nagelsmann. They have had 2 convincing games in the Champions League, and they look very sad in the Bundesliga, thank God, because Stevie and myself and all other neutral fans, we want excitement in the Bundesliga. But 3 draws and then a loss tonight against Augsburg, that doesn't look good. And that is FC Hollywood, FC overreaction and FC crisis now in Munich.
Do you know, it's funny that you should say that, Jan, because I still haven't got out of, they're going to win it.
No, but I will win it.
No, exactly. So as bad as they've been, I have not even hit any sort of threshold of any question they're not going to win it.
What will it take?
Absolutely.
I'll take a miracle, because even as bad as they are, they'll still win it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Frank? Thomas Tuchel to Bayern Munich?
I don't know yet. I mean, again, there is somebody in position, and even if they don't have the good results, he's still a young coach, and I want him to give him some chances. So saying Tuchel should go there will be meaning for me to think that Nagelsmann is not good enough, and I don't think he's not good enough. I think he's a great and has a great future. He's a great coach, and he has a great future. So I don't want Tuchel to step up and take Nagelsmann's spot. Even if I think that one day Tuchel might be the Bayern Munich coach.
Okay. But it's funny, Kay, because Julian Nagelsmann, he's like 12 years of age. I mean, he's the youngest coach ever. And it's quite interesting now, the last couple of 3 weeks, you kind of see that he doesn't have the experience of a Heinkes or a Hitzfeld and all the other ones. Because now, for example, when he's asked, do you miss Lewandowski? No, I don't miss him. I don't want to talk about it. Well, when do you ask yourself that you miss a striker? Never. Just so you're kind of reading him where he is at the moment. And this is the first time when you get a big problem at a big club like Bayern Munich, that it's all down to politics, everybody talking in the media, Brazzo, Kahn, Rummenigge, Hoeneß, and it will probably be an interview with Beckenbauer soon. They are all there. So Julian Nagelsmann is up for a good fight now.
Just thought of something there, Kay. No offence, right? But I wish Dan was sitting there.
Okay.
Because since the start of the season, Mr. Thomas, all he's done is ask me about, are Liverpool missing Manny? Are they not doing well because of Manny? Why are they not scoring goals? Manny's not there. Well, I wish he was sat there right now, because then I'd go, by the way, why are Bayern rubbish? Is it because they signed Manny? That's what I would love to do. So
but you know he'd have an answer for you.
I can't wait. No, what answer is he going to give me?
He's going to say they're missing Lewandowski.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'll take that one. You know, when he said no offence, you always worry what's going to follow after that. But that's all right. I'll take that one.
I can't wait to ask him.
I can't wait to see it. A relatively subdued show today by our standards, but make sure you join us tomorrow because we'll be doing it all over again.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week, subscribe to ESPN+.